Most people are making a massive financial mistake with their savings account, either leaving themselves dangerously exposed with too little cash, or literally losing thousands of dollars to inflation by keeping too much. But how much money should you actually keep in savings? Is it $5,000? $10,000? 3 months of expenses? 6 months? And what should you do with the money beyond that? Today, we're breaking down the exact formula to figure out how much money you actually need to keep in your savings account, where the rest of your cash could potentially be put to work, and how paycheckplanner.ai can help you organize your entire financial picture. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple framework you can use to determine whether you're saving too little, too much, or just the right amount. Let's dive in. Here's something most people don't realize. Having more money in savings doesn't automatically mean you're financially healthier. Your savings account is supposed to protect you, but there can be a point where keeping too much cash becomes a missed opportunity. On the other hand, having too little can leave you one unexpected expense away from reaching for a credit card or taking on additional debt. So where's the balance? The answer starts with understanding your monthly essential expenses. Think about your housing, utilities, groceries, insurance, transportation, minimum debt payments, healthcare, and other expenses you absolutely need to maintain your household. That number gives you a foundation for determining your emergency fund. For example, if your essential expenses are $3,000 per month, 3 months would equal $9,000, while 6 months would equal $18,000. But your ideal number depends on your situation. Someone with a very stable job may need a different cash reserve than someone who is self-employed or has unpredictable income. This is why copying someone else's savings goal can be misleading. Your emergency fund should be based on your financial reality, and this is where paycheckplanner.ai can help. Instead of trying to remember all of your bills, paychecks, debts, and expenses, you can organize your financial information in one place and get a clearer picture of where your money is actually going. So, how much should you actually keep in savings? A common starting point is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. If your household requires $3,000 each month to cover necessities, your target could be somewhere between $9,000 and $18,000. But don't treat those numbers as a universal rule. Your personal circumstances matter. If you have a highly stable income, strong job security, and fewer financial obligations, you may feel comfortable toward the lower end. If you're self-employed, have one income supporting your household, have dependents, or work in an unpredictable industry, you may want a larger cushion. The key is to calculate your number instead of choosing a random savings goal. And remember, your emergency fund is different from money you're saving for vacations, holidays, home improvements, or planned purchases. Those expenses should have their own categories in your financial plan. This is one reason budgeting tools can be so valuable. With paycheckplanner.ai, you can organize your income, bills, expenses, debts, and financial goals so you can see how everything fits together. Instead of simply looking at your bank balance and thinking, I have money, you can start asking the more important question, how much of this money is actually available? That distinction can completely change the way you manage your finances. Because having $15,000 in your account doesn't necessarily mean you have $15,000 available to spend. Some of that money may already have a job. Now let's talk about the other side of the problem, keeping too much money in savings. Imagine you have $40,000 sitting in cash, but after analyzing your expenses, you determine that your emergency fund target is $15,000. That leaves $25,000 that may not need to remain in your emergency savings account. Now, that doesn't mean you should immediately invest every dollar. Money you need for a short-term purchase should generally be handled differently from money you won't need for many years. Your timeline and risk tolerance matter. But the bigger point is that every dollar should have a purpose. Your emergency fund provides protection. Short-term savings can help you prepare for upcoming expenses. Debt repayment can reduce interest costs. Long-term investments can potentially help build wealth over time. Retirement accounts can help you prepare for the future. The mistake is allowing everything to pile up in one savings account simply because watching the balance increase feels good. There is nothing wrong with having a healthy cash reserve. In fact, having accessible savings can provide tremendous peace of mind. But you also need to recognize the opportunity cost of excess cash. Inflation can reduce purchasing power over time, meaning that money sitting still may gradually buy less in the future. That's why PaycheckPlanner.ai is designed around helping you see the bigger picture. When you can clearly see your income, upcoming bills, debt, spending, and financial goals, it becomes easier to determine which dollars need to stay available and which dollars may have another job. Think about your money like employees in a company. You wouldn't hire 20 people and then give 15 of them absolutely nothing to do. You would assign them specific responsibilities. Your money should work the same way. Some dollars should protect you. Some should pay your bills. Some should eliminate expensive debt. Some should fund your short-term goals. And some may be appropriate for long-term investing. Once you start thinking this way, budgeting becomes much more than restricting your spending. It becomes a system for directing your money toward the things that matter most. And that's the philosophy behind PaycheckPlanner.ai. It's not just about telling you that you spent too much money on restaurants or entertainment. It's about helping you understand your cash flow and make better decisions with the money coming into your household. You can organize your paychecks, track bills, manage debts, monitor financial goals, and get a clearer picture of what's happening with your money. And if you're someone who gets paid weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month, or monthly, seeing your money through a paycheck-based perspective can make budgeting feel much more realistic. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" you can start asking, "Does this purchase fit into my plan?" That small change in thinking can have a major impact over time. So before you automatically move more money into savings, take a moment to understand what you already have, what you need, and what each dollar is supposed to accomplish. Before you finish this video, I want you to do 5 things. First, calculate your essential monthly expenses. Second, multiply that number by 3 to 6 months. Or determine another target that makes sense for your personal circumstances. Third, compare that target with your current savings balance. Fourth, identify money you're holding for short-term goals, debt repayment, or other purposes. And fifth, look at the money beyond your emergency fund and ask whether it has a specific job. If it doesn't, this is your opportunity to create a better plan. And you don't have to figure it all out with a spreadsheet full of formulas. Go to PaycheckPlanner.ai and start organizing your financial life in one place. Track your paychecks, bills, expenses, debts, savings, goals, and overall financial progress, so you can see where your money is going and where it needs to go next. PaycheckPlanner.ai is built to help you move from simply managing money to actually making financial progress. So don't just check your bank balance and hope you're doing okay. Know your numbers, know your cash flow, know your goals, and give every dollar a purpose. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because we're going to keep breaking down practical strategies that can help you make smarter financial decisions. And leave a comment below. How many months of expenses are currently sitting in your emergency fund? Your answer might help someone else realize they need to rethink their own saving strategy. Visit PaycheckPlanner.ai today and start building your financial plan, because we're building real financial progress, one process at a time.